Yo, yo, yo. Happy Saturday. What's up, everybody? Good morning, good day, whatever time it is for you. Good to see you guys. Yeah, so I don't know. We'll do March 18th edition of Video Gaming News, and then we will probably do a little bit of Warframe, and then we will do some more Divinity. Cool. Yeah. That's the plan, man. Same as we've been doing most of the week. I was planning on just doing like a Warframe weekend, but we've been having a lot of fun in Divinity, so we'll play a little bit of Warframe, just like we've been doing out throughout the week, and we'll just keep pushing with Divinity. We need to try to get as much gameplay in there as we can, because we've got this week, last week, and this week we've got our buddy Pinky that we're co-oping the game with. He's got a work schedule change coming up, and after this week, getting gameplay done together is going to be a lot more difficult for the week following. So getting as much gameplay in now, I think, is the play. So that's why we're going to do it that way. Yeah. So that's what we'll do. We'll press. We'll do it like that, and we'll have fun, man. That's what we do. So it'll be good. It'll be good. We'll still continue to get some Warframe in here and there, and we'll see how much we can get in. And I still want to play it as, you know, we move forward with community and stuff. I'm having fun with the game, and it's fun for me. So I'll see what we can do about getting some more weekend, pure Warframe weekend content and stuff like that moving forward. Okay, but that's the play for now. So let's go ahead and do what we do, man. Let's get into this March 18th edition of Video Gaming News and see what the industry has in store for us here. Okay. Listening to some Crypt of the Necro Dancer this morning, rhythm-based adventure RPG. It's got a very extensive soundtrack, a lot of different kinds of songs, like all the songs that are part of the original soundtrack. There are alternate soundtracks that come along with it for like remixed versions, chopped and synthwave, all kinds of different versions of songs and stuff. So it's pretty cool. Check into it, see what you think, okay? Let's go. Dive into this news, see what we got. That's wrong. That's wrong. There we go. That's the play. Nice. Super Meat Boy spinoff. See what that is. Yep. I heard about that this morning already. Lance Riddick, the actor featured in some video games and things like that too, has passed. So heart and thoughts go out to the individuals that's been touched by him and who are grieving, friends and family of his that are grieving for that loss. So let's see here. Steam Spring Sale. Best games to get with a discount. Let's see what we have here. And we'll pull this one up too from Comic Book. Same thing, Steam sale. There are a lot of games on sale on Steam right now. PS Plus subscribers losing 9 games next week. See what those are. Looks like Starfield is now the top wish-listed game on Steam. Now that Hogwarts Legacy has released, it is out of the way. And was it the day before? Isn't that the title that was supposed to release and has had so much controversy? And it was like the most wish-listed game for couple of years, right? I think that's the name of it. And now it's turned into this entire debacle of like sketchiness. Really, I think it's the day before or day before, if they're still even going to be able to call it that. Let's see here. Is it even still up? Let's see, or day after, day before, day before, day after. What is the name of that game? I can't remember now. It'll come to me later. I don't have coffee yet, I guess. But with those two titles out of the way, Starfield is you know it's not a surprise that this title is now leading the way as the top wish listed game on Steam. So it kind of makes sense. I think there's both hype for all the Bethesda fans out there, and there's just anticipation across the industry about seeing what Bethesda is bringing to the table for this title. Yeah. Game Pass users are being surprised with some PlayStation games. Okay. Okay. Looks like the doc is, um, or has already done a showcase, a new showcase for to show some more of the new title, Dead Drop. We'll see what comes out of that. Critically acclaimed Xbox 360 game now free to download. See what that is. Project 007 story details revealed. Okay. Details have leaked about the new Assassin's Creed code named Red. Go to other search real quick. We've already talked about that. Again, if you're not aware, FTC has fined Riot almost 250,000 or million, excuse me, $250 million for basically incorporating mechanics into Fortnite, specifically that have come off as very kind of scummy as far as monetization goes, in order to make it very, very easy for people to accidentally purchase stuff, or for kids to be able to purchase things very easily, things of that nature. There are links out there where you can uh, apply to the FTC to recoup some of that money that you may have lost accidentally in that title, or what have you, or through Riot at some point. So look into it. It's out there. We've talked about it in the previous, over the previous week, but probably check out mainly like our March 15th, March 16th editions of Video Gaming News on YouTube, and you'll catch some more of that story. Yo, Gamer, what's up, buddy? Cool, man. Cool. Bless you. Assassin's Creed Valhalla is a fake game. What is this? I got to see what they're saying about this. Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy coming to Steam. What? To help spark PC game sales. Okay. Atlas Fallen unexpectedly gives Forspoken some real competition. Do I mean, is Forspoken actually considered some kind of competitor? Because that game's pretty brutal, from what I understand. Now, here's the funny thing: Atlas Fallen. Ever since I've seen gameplay of Atlas Fallen, I've gone, this seems like kind of really familiar gameplay wise to Forspoken. If you look at the way you're like traversing the environment, and you've got like a gauntlet that gives you powers, there are some really similar aspects to what Atlas Fallen is incorporating to their game that Forspoken also had. And not that it's necessarily the exact same, but there are definitely similarities to be pulling out of there. So we'll see what that article has to say. I mean, competition, though, I don't know that there's any need to state it that way, as Forspoken has done so poorly that the developer behind Forspoken has already been absorbed by their parent company of Square Enix. So, Forspoken was pretty bad. I didn't even play it, so I can't speak from personal experience. But I was talking for a while about Forspoken before it even officially released. There were a lot of things I saw throughout the process of the development of that game from the outside looking in that were just scary to me. And it was apparent to me anyways, and I was trying to advise people that it seemed like it would be a better idea to maybe hold off if you're interested in Forspoken, to see what the game was going to bring to the table before you decided to invest in it, right? And that was, I think, a pretty good sentiment, because it did not end up being a great experience for most people. Yeah. There were a lot of technical issues. I think gameplay wise, it was pretty stale. Some people enjoyed it okay, but the writing apparently wasn't very good. The story was pretty bland. A lot of people just did not enjoy the game very much, and it shows in the reviews the game is getting, and how well it has done profit. This game, there have been leaks coming out saying that this game, Forspoken, had a budget of $100 million for development. $100 million for development. That's a lot of money. To fall that flat, that's pretty rough. Oh, baby. Tekken 8 gameplay trailer spotlights the return of the king. Dude, let's go. Leaked information on Left 4 Dead 3. Okay. Chia released a gameplay trailer and story. We've seen stuff about this already previously, but it's been a few weeks, so I'll take another look at it for people. They already said no, right? Does D4 beta progression carry across to the full game? I thought we already read and that was a big no. Yeah, negative. Nope, nothing carries over. So there you go. Well, I was pretty positive that was the case already, but I wanted to make sure I was not going to be putting out some misinformation there for people. We'll probably be seeing some info about how people are feeling about the beta. And we'll probably have some community members coming through and letting us know as well. We've got some community members that are going to be checking out the beta. It's not for me, man, but to everybody out there that's going to be playing it, I hope they have a good time with it, and I would love to know what people think about it. All right, let's stick with this. Oh, baby. King. Let's go. Coming a bit of a pattern, but Bandai has released yet another Tekken 8 trailer of classic character it had previously confirmed yet hadn't shown much of. Latest trailer is all about King, the popular masked luchador fighter who has, in one form or another, been in every Tekken game. King's trailer gives a glimpse of his giant record-setting moveset. He's shown doing a ton of different grapples as well as some counters. A handful of these utilize the heat system, which is new to Tekken 8. King was also in prior footage of the game, but he hasn't gotten the spotlight until now. And as was the case with other trailers, Bandai has yet to confirm Tekken 8's release date. Has, however, been releasing character trailers quite rapidly. Yes, it has. Let's go, baby. 2 minutes of some King gameplay. Nice. King was always my jam, dude. I liked King.
Get ready for the next battle. Tekken 8. New challenger. King.
That was a sick lariat, dude. Dude, I want to see the oh, there it is. Sick. Okay, yeah. That's pretty cool, man. Nice. I always liked King. It was cool that he had, like, you know, amidst all these other fighters that were just basically, you know, physical attacks, it was a lot of grappling. I always thought that was really neat about King. Pretty cool, man. It's not an easy character. It traditionally has not been an easy character to use, though. That's cool, man. Looks neat. Leaked information on Left 4 Dead 3 gives hope for a new era of co-op zombie games. Valve, the video game developer and publisher behind iconic titles like Counter-Strike and the Left 4 Dead series, is rumored to be working on the third installation to one of the most popular zombie survival games. Valve will definitely usher in a new era of co-op zombie survival games if talks about Left 4 Dead 3 are true. Furthermore, multiple sources are also claiming that the third Left 4 Dead game may launch alongside Counter-Strike Global Offensive 2. Keep reading for to find out more. My bad. So leaks suggest that Valve is developing Left 4 Dead 3. Several reputable gaming news outlets are starting to talk about the rumors of Left 4 Dead 3. According to multiple reports, Valve has updated the source code for the second game. In the updated source code, there appears to be references to Left 4 Dead 3. These updates were enough to get people talking about what could be coming in the near future. Before this happened, the leaks only concerned a potential Counter-Strike Global Offensive 2, first shared by Gabe Follower on Twitter. He claims to have received executables for CSGO Source 2. He further claims that the source codes he received are legit. If you've been playing Left 4 Dead games, you will know that it has been over a decade since Valve released a game. First game in the series was 2008, followed by Left 4 Dead 2 in 2009. Yeah, I mean, obviously, if they are developing, the rest of what that talks about is like what to expect. It's like improved gameplay mechanics, and so it's like obviously, I mean, we're talking about a game that the last iteration released in 2009. So by the time we see anything, a potential release for Left 4 Dead 3, it would be roughly 15 years. So yeah, you would hope that what you would see is enhanced visuals, a more modern gameplay, some all encompassing, dude, a more modern take on what the older games implemented that people loved, right? So technology and gaming has evolved a lot since 2009. Not that there aren't still some great titles to go back and play from back then, but you can see examples of things like Dead Space just being remade. Dead Space was a 2007 game. It got remade, and I think that EA, while I haven't played the remake yet, I know a lot about it, and I think they did a pretty good job. But things definitely needed to be changed and updated, and I mean that's the thing about gaming is doesn't mean that things weren't done really well at one point, but it also doesn't mean that they can't be enhanced and done better in modern gaming, right? So, you would assume that if they're making a new iteration, it would be a more modern take on the series. Yeah. What's up, buddy? Yeah, man. Chia release date, gameplay trailer, and story. Yeah, this looks like a pretty cute little game here. So, take a look at the trailer and then we'll read this.
Hi everyone, I'm Phil Crifo, game director on Chia. Let me show you some of the really cool locomotion abilities and traversal options that we built to make exploring the world of Chia fun and rewarding. This is a game about exploration, so it was super important for us that moving around was intuitive, responsive, but also deep enough to stay engaging throughout the whole game. In Chia, you are not bound to design routes and areas. You can climb any surface organically, even at weird angles, and carve your own path through the islands. You can use the terrain's verticality to your advantage by sliding down slopes and use your glider to cover long distances and break your falls. Well, sometimes. Taking hits and performing intense activities will drain
That
your
would definitely
stamina,
be me in
but
this
you can
game.
upgrade it by finding magical fruits around the archipelago.
Falling everywhere.
All foliage in the game is physics-based. Swaying on trees and catapulting yourself through the air is an efficient way to cover long distances. In Chia, you'll spend a lot of time in the air, so why not add a bit of style to it? You can do spins and flips, and even dives, if you're precise enough. We wanted to emulate the excitement of getting lost into a rich, unknown world. This is why we designed our map system without a player marker. We think this encourages observation and exploration and makes finding your way around the archipelago much more rewarding. Chia can help you by guessing her general location,
Inilah lagu ni Chef.
and using orientation signs will narrow down your position, forcing you to explore and interact with the world around you. To cover greater distances across the archipelago, you can use your trusty boat. It is easy to sail but still requires you to be active as you need to manage both your sail and steering paddle. And while exploring, you will also find docks that unlock fast travel destinations to let you get around the world faster. Let's dive into one of the game's most unique mechanics, Chia's soul jumping ability that allows you to take control of any object or animal in the game world. Early in the game, Chia discovers that she has unique soul jumping powers. Her left eye starts glowing and she is able to warp into nearby objects and animals. Some objects have different characteristics. For example, explosives can be super useful during combat, especially when used alongside soul throwing, a mechanic that lets you aim and shoot an object towards the target while regaining control of Chia on the spot. It's up to you to be creative and discover fun ways to use objects. Soul jumping into animals is also super powerful. Most of them have unique abilities that can help you with traversal, exploration, or are just great fun. Using your soul jumping abilities will deplete Chia's soul meter, and more intense activities will drain it faster. You can upgrade it permanently by consuming super rare fruits that will add a slot to your
What's up,
soul
Doors?
meter, and doing
I mean,
so, as well as progressing through the story, will unlock the full potential of Chia's soul jumping powers.
There are a lot of adults that dig a game like this every once in a while, you know what I mean? Or on the constant even. So for you personally, I respect that. But I mean, I can even dig getting into a nice, cute little game every once in a while, man. Yeah. So there it is. Third person open world adventure game with a focus on exploration. Players can climb, glide, swim, and sail their way around the islands. They can take advantage of the game's physics engine in their exploration. For example, they can swing trees back and forth, serve as a catapult, allowing them to quickly cover huge distances. Players have access to boats, gliders, and more to help them in their travels. However, the biggest tool in the player's arsenal is their ability to soul jump. Soul jumping allows the player to take control of an animal or object, letting them explore as the animal or object they have possessed. Players have over 30 animals as well as hundreds of objects to choose from. For example, players can possess a dog and dig treasure out from the ground. They can possess a bird and fly to their destination quickly. They can even possess a tire and just roll around on the ground. So many possibilities, players will not run out of ideas on how to traverse the land. During exploration, players will encounter various fabric soldiers, enemies that aim to stop the player. Players can use their soul jump ability, as well as various tools to take down these fabric soldiers. Your creativity is limited in how you decide to dispatch these enemies. When not fighting, players can play a fully functional ukulele. Whether it be for fun or during the game's rhythm sections, players will be able to familiarize themselves with the iconic instrument. Who knows? You might even unlock some special melodies that will be useful in your travels. The story is you play as Chia, a young girl with a very mysterious power. When her father was taken by the island's cruel tyrant, Mayavora, it is up to Chia to rescue her father. Chia must explore the archipelago under Mayavora's rule and put a stop to her cruel ways. There you go. Yeah, there's been a bit of hype around this, man. I think there are some people that are pretty interested in playing this actually. So while it's not something that necessarily appeals to myself either, I mean, this is not something that is at the forefront of my interest in playing. It doesn't look bad to me or anything, you know. So I don't know, and I don't think that just because a game is, you know, got a nice, vibrant, uh, art style and animation style and some fun little cute mechanics in it and stuff means that it's just going to be something aimed towards kids or anything either. So I don't know. We've had people in here already that have seen some of this stuff and they're like, "Oh, it looks like a cool, cute little game to play," and you know, so to each their own. To each their own. Here it is. If anybody needs something more out of that article. Atlas Fallen unexpectedly gives Forspoken some real competition. Atlas Fallen has the potential to surprise a lot of people, although it's launching in just 2 months. Again, Atlas Fallen, man, is launching like what roughly within 10 days after Tears of the Kingdom, which is a bold move. I would say it's probably a bit of a safer move to have released beforehand. But to release after Tears of the Kingdom, and within like a 2 to 3 week window of before or after a game like Tears of the Kingdom is um a risk. That's always going to be a risk. There are a few games that come out each year that are kind of, if you will, avoided like the plague by many developers. Many developers will avoid at all costs to release their game in that window, whether it be like last year with Elden Ring or God of War Ragnarok. There are a lot of titles, and not all, but a lot of developers will avoid that window if at all possible. And Atlas Fallen is going for 10 days after Tears of the Kingdom, so we'll see how that works out for them. And maybe they're just banking on the fact that not everybody's looking to play a Nintendo game at that point. And with so many other developers avoiding that window, it could be a good play for them. Maybe that's how they're looking at it. You know, that's a possibility. So Atlas Fallen has the potential to surprise a lot of people, although it's launching in just 2 months. I haven't seen much about this new game from the Surge developer Deck 13 and publisher Focus Entertainment since its reveal at Gamescom opening night live 2022. That's a shame because after going hands-on with an early build of it, I found that Atlas Fallen has the potential to appeal to people who didn't like one of the year's most divisive titles, Forspoken. There are similarities in these titles. And to be fair, a lot of people did not care for Forspoken. Square's open-world action RPG featured some neat ideas with its fast-paced magical combat and free traversal abilities, but many people couldn't get into it. While more focused on melee combat than magic, Atlas Fallen is a similarly ambitious open-world game that delivers satisfying movement and action that's different from the norm. That makes it a game that might scratch some itches for that Forspoken didn't fully reach due to its heavily criticized writing. If it's not on your radar yet, you might want to know what Atlas Fallen has to offer. Basic premise is a player was a person from the lowest caste in this world's society, bonded with an ancient gauntlet. Very, very similar to Forspoken, yeah. The gauntlet has an amnesic spirit named Nile living inside it and is now trying to save the world from gods, left it in desert-filled ruins. Narrative wasn't a big focus in my preview build, though, and the script is full of jargon that probably will only make sense once I play more of the game. A talking companion bonded to the player's arm and hand is already an unexpected narrative coincidence between Forspoken and Atlas Fallen, yes. Neither of the game's story is the appeal of either to me. It's their fun traversal and combat that interests me. The few seconds of Atlas Fallen's sand surfing and fighting in its Gamescom trailer caught my eye last year and both lived up to the hype. Satisfying combat. It's a pretty long article here. There's something exciting about how mysterious this game still is to me, as that means there could be lots of surprises when players finally get to try the whole thing in a couple of months. Shaping up to be an unexpected, almost accidental alternative to Forspoken. Yeah, there are a lot of similarities here. With the way it seems like you're the whole like gauntlet thing. I think it was more of like a bangle bracelet kind of thing in Forspoken, but it's still very similar. They're I think both got these magical powers. I don't know if the one in Atlas Fallen has the ability to engage in communication with the character, though. I don't know about that. Shaping me up to be an unexpected, almost accidental alternative. Yeah, looking for an action-heavy RPG with innovative movement and combat gameplay ideas. Atlas Fallen should be on your radar. Yeah, I mean, maybe people will see it as like, maybe this is. I think there's two ways this could go. People are either going to go, okay, maybe this is what we were really looking for out of Forspoken, and this could be scratch that itch that people were wanting, because Forspoken has not been reviewed well. A lot of people did not find it great. Or it's going to be scary to people because it's so similar. It could be either or. So we'll have to see how it goes. But I don't know. There are a lot of similarities with the this open world, like, you know, Forspoken had this big focus on the gameplay around the magical abilities that the bangle or the bracelet or whatever gave you, and the traversal stuff, and that's a big part of what this is too. It's like you've got this gauntlet that lets you create sand weapons, which kind of magical sand weapons, and then you do sand surfing, which is like the traversal and stuff like that too. So there are some similarities there, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what they're bringing to the table here, gameplay wise. Hopefully, I mean, look, I hope it feels better than Forspoken, because people did not receive Forspoken very well. Super Meat Boy spinoff puzzle game Dr. Fetus. Fetus's Mean Meat Machine announced. Thunderful Head Up and Team Meat have announced Dr. Fetus's Mean Meat Machine, a spin-off game that takes place within the Super Meat Boy universe. It'll come to PC, PS4, PS5, Switch, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S in 2023. Dr. Fetus's Mean Meat Machine is a Puyo Puyo and Tetris-like puzzle game that includes traps like chainsaws, missiles, and other deadly hazards into the fray from Dr. Fetus. It features familiar levels from the Super Meat Boy and Super Meat Boy Forever locations, as well as over 100 handcrafted levels for players to take on and beat. The events of Dr. Fetus' Mean Meat Machine take place right after those in Super Meat Boy Forever. He has collected a DNA sample of Meat Boy, wants to make clones of him, but since the sample isn't perfect, the clones come out less than ideal. Through his levels and traps, Dr. Fetus will do away with the imperfect Meat Boy clones till he finds the perfect one. Let's see what this is. Okay, cool. Super Meat Boy and Super Meat Boy Forever were hardcore platformers, so Dr. Fetus' Mean Meat Machine is tackling an entire different genre. In GameSpot's Super Meat Boy Forever review, we said it builds and pushes you through until you press every button perfectly. You just keep playing and trying and dying until you've had enough. When you're finally finished, if you've really put everything you had into the game, you might even feel a little runner's high. Cool. Yeah, the Meat Boy games are well known. Yeah. There you go, guys. The Steam Spring Sale. Best games to get with a discount. What are they saying here? Disco Elysium. Bro, can confirm. Very disco, man. Dude, this game was so good. We just played this. And what a fantastic game this is. Raphael Ambrosius Casto. This is a great game. And unfortunately, so you can get a 75% discount on this, the final cut too. So very good game if you're into. This is going to be more like, if you're not familiar, this game is styled like a traditional CRPG, but without combat mechanics. It's all like basically it's just a story rich game where you're doing rolls, like kind of, dice rolls, right, to get through checks and figure out this like murder mystery. You've got a bit of amnesia going on with the main character, and you're trying to figure things out and get through this story. And it's very, very, very good, very well written, great voice acting. It's a very cool experience. It's a very good game. I highly recommend. We had a great time playing it here recently, and it's a great game. The unfortunate thing is that EA, what is it? I think it's EAVU. Is that the developer? I think I got that right. They're in a bit of a pickle right now with some really crazy stuff went down with the main creative minds behind Disco Elysium basically got ousted from the company because they were not they were outspoken about some of what had happened in the company with monetization stuff coming about, and they were more interested in just creating great content and thinking like, if we continue to create great content as seen with Disco Elysium, that will be what brings in profit, right? As opposed to what had happened with the company, in that they were bringing in people for like NFT, Web3, blockchain stuff, and these developers were like, no, that's not us, that's not what we want. And so now there's like this big, I think, legal battle going on for the rights to Disco Elysium, and what's going to happen with it moving forward, we don't know. But ultimately, it would be a shame to see Disco Elysium not be able to be worked on by the same people that were the main creative genius behind the first game there, because that first game is amazing and I highly recommend it. The Nonary games. Nonary is literally 2 games for the price of 1, but really it's 30. Both 999 and Virtue's Last Reward have choices that lead you down different timelines. Each decision you make sends you down a different series of events, and something you learn in one timeline could help you out as you enter another. As you try to escape the facilities you find yourself confined in, you get more questions than you do answers. What the Nonary games does best is giving you a riddle that feels unsolvable, then following it up with that beautiful moment of realization when it all makes sense. 60% discount on Nonary games. Woo! Oh, man. Victoria 3. So, strategy game. Simulating the strata of society, cultural, economic, and political desires more deeply than ever before in this iteration of the Victoria series. At 20% discount on 3 and 10% discount on Victoria 3 Grand Edition. Total Warhammer 3, 33% discount, and 50% off some DLCs. Sayonara Wild Hearts, 40% off. Monster Hunter Rise, 50% off. Phantom Abyss, 25% off. Dicey Dungeons, 75% off. If you need some of those, we got another one up here that is probably going to list some other games too. So let's take a look at that. There's that link though. If you're interested in some of those games, take a look at the descriptions. Steam sale makes $146 worth of critically acclaimed games just $7. Steam sale is offering discounts as large as 96% off on some of the best games available on digital PC storefront. As a result, the games in question are as cheap as 79 cents and 99 cents. Sale is called the Valve Complete Pack Sale, and it offers, as the name suggests, deep discounts on games from Valve. So if you haven't dabbled in series like Half-Life, Left 4 Dead, Counter-Strike, or Portal, now's a great time to remedy this. Yeah. This goes anytime, quite often, the big Steam sales happen. Steam puts this like bundle or this package on sale for about $7. And I'll pull it up for you guys here. I'll just pull it up and link it for you. I think this is it. Yeah, right there. So you can see it's like, is that the same one they were listing? Is that what they were calling it? Valve Complete Pack? Yeah, they had it listed at a different price though. This one's saying $654. They were saying how much? Oh yeah, $654 there. Okay. Yeah. But I'm showing $609 on their storefront on the platform. So I don't know. Wait, can I not link this? Where's the share at, dude? Oh, give me a break, man. Okay. Well, let me reopen that and I'll link it to you guys through this. Yeah, if you're interested, it's a lot of notable games for like $650. There you go. PlayStation Plus subscribers losing 9 free games next week. So on March 21st, okay, you will be losing on the PS Plus subscription service Danger Zone, Dungeons 2, Ghost of a Tale, Monster Energy Supercross, Override 2, Super Mech League, The Vanishing of Ethan Carter, Velocibox, Victor Vran Overkill Edition, and WWE 2K22. All right. There you go. Those are the games going away in roughly like 3 days. So if you want to get any of those played, you need to get them done now. Xbox Game Pass users surprised with PlayStation games. Between console exclusives, former exclusives, and games made by Sony itself, the next few weeks are an interesting few weeks for Xbox Game Pass subscribers. Begins on March 21st when a former PS4 console exclusive, Ni no Kuni 2, Revenant Kingdom, comes to Xbox consoles for the first time and releases into the Xbox Game Pass library at the same time. Not only was Ni no Kuni 2 a PS4 console exclusive when it released by the series but I think that's supposed to be but the series is widely associated with PlayStation. A few days later, MLB The Show 23, a game made by PlayStation Studio and published by Sony, will release on March 28th. When it does, it will be also available on Xbox Game Pass. Lastly, a few weeks after this, on April 12th, current PS5 console exclusive Ghostwire Tokyo will come to Xbox consoles, and again on day one will be available via Xbox Game Pass. So Ghostwire Tokyo has been out for a while though, and that is from Tango. If you don't know who Tango is the creators of some very notable games of the past in the horror genre, specifically the Evil Within games, Evil Within 1 and 2. And more recently, they kind of went outside their normal genre and shadow dropped an amazing title on us, Hi-Fi Rush, which if you have not played, you should. It is a great game. I was pleasantly surprised. I did not expect it to be nearly as amazing as it was. And right now is my game of the year. Hi-Fi Rush, amazing experience. Shadow dropped on us. Nobody really knew it was coming. It dropped at a price point on release of $30, which you don't see anymore. Yeah, link it to me, Mithril, and I'll try to take a look at it and see how I could incorporate it. Yeah, yeah. What's up, buddy? How you doing, man? Yeah. So you'll have to DM it to me, dude. Yeah, you'll have to DM it to me. Yeah. Because the only people that can link in chat are like mods and VIPs and myself. That's it. Yeah. So either through Discord or here on Twitch, whatever, man. But just slip it into my DMs, my friend. Yeah. Yeah. I appreciate that, man. How you doing, buddy? How was your Saturday, dude? Busy, was it? Like good busy or bad busy, dude? So yeah, there's like trailers and everything in here for these games that are coming. So if you're not familiar with what these games are and you're interested in what's coming here from what have been or were, notably PlayStation titles formerly, and coming to Xbox Game Pass, then take a look at this stuff, okay? I don't know, we can watch them real quick here. Let's just watch them. It was okay. I don't. Just got to sit down at the computer 11 p.m. Yeah, I knew your Saturday was about done, dude. Ghostwire Tokyo. Coming to Xbox on April 12th. That's my kind of spooter right there. I'm pretty sure that's Mithril's kind of spooter too, being over there in Australia. You got those spooters that the rest of us don't really see, you know what I'm saying? Got those. Pretty sure that was a huntsman, wasn't it? That we just saw? That was a huntsman spider, right, Mithril? Dude. All right, this is the Nino Kuni trailer, Revenant Kingdom. Here you go.
I am Evan Pettywhisker Tildrum, King of Ding Dong Dell.
How long is this trailer you're sending me, dude? For this video.
Never mind who. The question is where. They're here for you. We need to leave.
For me.
Can't you see? It's a coup.
This is the dawn of a new era for all Nino Kuni!
Evan, you'll be a wonderful king. I know you will.
But how? How can I?
I've made a decision. I'm staying here in this world. With you.
We serve you now, Your Majesty.
This is where it all begins, King Evan.
But Guardians are meant to protect things, not destroy them.
Something tells me it's not doing this by choice.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's straight out of G.I. Joe right there.
I won't give up. I'll never give up. I promised her. I'll build a kingdom where everyone can live happily ever after.
Cool. There you go. And then MLB The Show 23. There you go. Those are the titles coming over. Game Pass that are synonymous with PlayStation as well. Or first and foremost, I guess. Did I link that? I didn't link that. I suck. Hold on. Here you go. Right there in chat. Right there in chat. Optic and Dr. Disrespect collaborate to host a gaming event. New Dead Drop gameplay showcased. So important for readers to know that Dead Drop is still in its development phase. Snapshots or updates from the game may be few and far between. Development team is likely focusing on addressing significant issues and refining the game's features to ensure the best possible experience for players. That's not going to work. In addition to having a live audience, the event was live streamed on the Midnight Society YouTube channel, which belongs to Doc's AAA gaming studio. Fans and gamers from around the world tuned in to check out the latest developments in the game. Okay. Yeah, thanks, dude. Let me see here. Oh, this is actually from their channel and everything too, huh? Okay. Yeah. All right. Cool. Yeah, we'll watch this dude to like kind of finish out the new segment here. Cool. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, we'll take a look. Thanks, dude. Appreciate it. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yep. That's the norm there. Yep, for sure. Thanks, man. We'll take a look and see. You meant for like this one that we were looking at? Well, here's the deal too. I'm really careful because Dr. Disrespect is also banned on Twitch. So there's a lot of content that I'm not going to watch that has the doc in it. Because I'm going to be very careful about not getting our channel here in trouble for potentially playing content that has the doc in it. And I don't know all the ins and outs of that situation, like what the rules are about that. Like, I know that like having the doc on live is absolutely a no-no. If you watch any kind of content, I don't know what the exact like lines are there, and so quite often what I do is just avoid it. You know, so like I avoid really just playing anything that has him in it because it's just it's a bit too sketchy for me. I like what I do. I enjoy our community here. I enjoy being able to be here every day, and to the greatest extent, man, I try to just avoid things that could potentially get us in trouble. You know what I mean? Um, yeah. He's a personality, that's for sure, dude. He's a personality. Um, so I will say, like, the thing that I'm not real keen on with this game, Dead Drop, is the whole NFT side of things that he's so adamant about promoting. It's kind of gross to me. I'm not a fan. I've never really had an issue with the dog. I think like half of what he does is like the persona thing, you know. Um, I think half of what he does is the persona, but I think there's part of his personality that also shines through his persona. You know what I mean? So I agree with where you're coming from. Yeah. So Dead Drop here, basically, whenever this game, Midnight Society is this development company that he has helped establish. He's a part of, and Dead Drop is their first game. It's a vertical style extraction shooter where you're trying to like work your way up like this. I don't know. What it's supposed to be is like imagine almost like a tall like a building or like a tall like oil rig scenario or something like that where you're trying to work your way up to the top to get the loot and then extract or whatever. I think it's supposed to be something like that. Um, I'm not sure exactly, but that's what they're calling it. I think is like a vertical extraction shooter. And what they did initially when they started development of this game was like, uh, we have a limited amount of NFTs. I think it was like 10,000 or something. Yo, we got 10,000 NFTs. And if you get in right now and on the ground floor and get one of these NFTs for the game that costs so much money, you'll get to be part of the beta as well. You know, it was really scummy in my opinion. You know, instead of being a developer, because here's the deal: whenever you're developing games, quite often you want to get a solid amount of people into testing your title to get feedback as well as to stress test, right? Because you're wanting to stress test your back end hardware, your servers, things like that. So you want feedback in regards to bug experience from players, things they think are being done well, and maybe things that could be changed a little bit, good ideas from player base that are interested in the title, right? But also it's a stress test kind of thing for what's going on your back end capacity, how well you've got things set up. And to put it out there as like a, if you buy in, you can come be a part. And really it's playing off of the doc's notoriety and, status to try to get people to spend even more money, and it's like, that's kind of gross in my opinion. And he's it's come back to light right now. This whole, because there's stuff coming out about the game again. So there's been a lot of talk about the NFT situation again, a lot of criticism again, and the doc is sticking by all of it, and it's like, I don't know. To me, the NFT stuff, the blockchain, all the Web3 stuff is just, it's always being done really scummy. There's nothing about it that's being done in a way that seems mutually beneficial to both the developer and the gamer, the consumer, and it's just a scummy kind of situation that I am not a fan of. So yeah, I mean, that's what I would have tried. I mean, the other thing is like, a lot of times when videos get embedded into other videos, or into other sites, they'll end up with these kinds of issues. So I could just pull it up on YouTube as well, and you'll be able to find it and play it and stuff. So you don't even need to necessarily use another browser or whatever. But just having the doc in it is something that I'm not really comfortable with. So this is about as far as I want to take having doc in articles is necessarily talking about it. So they did reveal some new Dead Drop updates. The Snapshot 5 reveal for the upcoming Dead Drop game took place in the Esports Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Yeah. So you can see all the people that were there. Cool. Yeah, fantastic. So the event showcased the Snapshot V update. It's highly refined game mechanics. Players can equip weapon attachments by simply dragging and dropping, which is a much more streamlined and intuitive process. 3 matches were also played during the event, giving everyone the opportunity to see the game in action. Yo, Ferret, what's up, dog? How are you, man? You think this was a setup? I mean, look, I know the doc's good. You know, he's good. He's good at FPS games. He is. You think that was a setup, though? I mean, it could have been. I mean, he absolutely could have won it outright as well. You know, could have also been something just to. Oh, yeah, there's no doubt he's practiced. That's what I was going to say too. I'm sure that he's been really going at this game and practicing. Yeah, I know, Ferret. Yeah. I already kind of touched on that. Yeah, dude. Yeah, feels bad. Yeah, F's in chat, bro. So the live audience and the viewers tuned into the live stream were no doubt delighted. Fans said the gaming event attracted a lot of praise for the veteran. Yeah, blah blah blah. What about the game though? Full version may be released later this year, but there's a possibility that it may not be available until 2024. To avoid any potential content with Doc, I'm not gonna watch this, dude. I'm not gonna watch this, but I'll link it for you guys. Take a look at it. See what you think. Yeah, see what you think. We've seen some stuff previously. I know, Wick. The 2-time, baby. The 2-time. Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, anybody that's been following gaming for a while is pretty aware of what, Midnight Society's been doing with Dead Drop. But I think it is important to obviously pay attention to what the game's doing and evolving and showcasing on different occasions and keeping up with it to see how the game's going to be doing. It's just hard because I don't necessarily with as much. Twitch does not like him, dude. Twitch does not like him. Whatever went down there, Twitch does not like him, and I don't want to get myself in any kind of situation where they're like, oh well, he's not supposed to be on the platform. You were showing him off on the platform, and I don't want to deal with that. So to avoid it, Oh well, yeah, yeah, he did. But I mean, the entire situation where there've never been really any details that came out about what exactly the entire situation was that resulted in him getting permanently banned off the platform. That I've been able to find, anyways, or that I've seen. I think there's a lot of speculation, but official. There's nothing been. I think he's in a non-disclosure agreement, is what I think. I think he got put under a non-disclosure agreement because he settled. There's some kind of settlement, right? Oh yeah, he doesn't like Twitch either. Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, because he won't talk about it, dude. Twitch won't talk about it either. I think there's a non-disclosure agreement on both sides that neither side can talk about it. Is what I think happened. I think there was a settlement that came down through it. And that's kind of what ended up going down. I think is probably the situation. So I don't know. He's wild, dude. The doc is, yeah. I would be surprised. I would be surprised. They can't. For them to just block a game under the premise of the fact that somebody that they don't like is part of the development process of that game. Dude, I don't know that I see that happening. Yeah. I don't know that I see that one. It would. I mean, it might be a lot different if he was like showing up throughout the entire game. You know what I mean? Um, maybe you will. Who knows? And maybe that could be a reason enough for them to be like, look, he's banned off the platform. You can't stream this game here or whatever because he's not supposed to be on this platform. That could be a thing. If he ended up being in the game a lot, you know, I don't know. I don't even know what all the ins and outs of the rules there are. Again, for me, I don't know if like you were to just show a video that had him in it, if that's going to get you in trouble. But I don't necessarily want to test that either. You know. What, man? What? But just because a game he's involved with, I don't know. Well, yeah, that's what I was saying though. That's what I just said. Was like it would be different if, and I mean, he might be. It might be. You know, he might have cameos all throughout the game and stuff like that, and that might be enough of a. And again, I don't know. Uh, Well, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised that he does have cameos throughout the game. I think that's one of I mean, he's a huge personality in gaming, and that's one of the I think the things that they're trying to do with the game and him being part of that development company, right? I mean, which he is helping to establish is you know the notoriety of it right off the bat. In large part is due to him, right? Him being a part of it and that personality behind it and everything. So him not showing up in the game, I think would probably be a bit weird. You know, people already, go dead drop, Doctor Disrespect. You know, it's like Midnight Society, Doctor Disrespect. It's like it's just it is what it is, and so um, who knows, dude? Yeah. Well, I mean, you you're convoluting like the difference between the worst what are considered, real world laws and things that Twitch does not allow people to do in breaking terms of service. Those are two totally different things, you know? So, you can absolutely break Twitch's terms of service, but not necessarily break any real life laws. So I mean, there are people that get banned off of Twitch all the time that aren't doing anything close to breaking laws and going to prison, so that's not the thing. And let's be very clear. Twitch is also really, really, really finicky about, punishing people differently. They basically are willy-nilly about this stuff, dude. Twitch has always been that way too. Um, they'll punish somebody, for like I don't know, man. What's some of the latest examples? Like somebody broadcast themselves like having sex on stream, and they said it was an accident, and they got banned for what, like 2 days? you know, and but then it's like somebody else does something not even hard, like somebody spun a like one of those like wheels on stream with their bare foot, and they got banned for like over a week or something like that because they were saying it was too sexual. It's like, what are you talking about? Because they said that it had to do with like foot fetish stuff or whatever. You know, it's crazy, dude. Twitch is so they don't have any kinds of real standards to punish people by or anything. They just do it all willy-nilly, dude. They do whatever they want. And they definitely don't punish big streamers the same way they do small streamers and stuff like that. You know, like very, very rarely will you see a big name streamer that pulls in a lot of viewers and makes them a lot of money be punished the same way that a small streamer will be, you know? Meanwhile, hot tub streams, yeah, dude, exactly, you know? Yeah. And they're like, we don't want sexualized content on the stream. That's what I was saying. We read an article not too long back about, well, like I said, it was just supposed to be some funny thing that this individual did on their stream where they spun at one of those like wheels, you know, that people do all the time on streams. They spun a wheel with their bare foot, and you know, then they got banned. They got banned for an amount of time just for doing it. And it was like there was nothing sexual about it, but Twitch banned them for saying that it was a ploy for sexual things, like for people that had foot fetishes and stuff. They're like, dude, I was just doing it to be funny and I didn't have anything on my feet at the time, you know? And then you know, but then you've got people doing like ASMR streams where they've got like fake elf ears and they're like licking them in a mic. Dude, you tell me that's not some sexual, you know, stuff that they're trying to, you know, you've got some people like, look, and to each their own, whatever, dude, you know, like it doesn't appeal to me, but you think there aren't people on the other end, you know, having a great time, you know, like you know, listening to some ASMR, to some, you know, licking on an elf ear. Hey, come on, man. But that's okay. See, they're just not. They don't stick to their, you know. Everything's just a juggling act for Twitch. They don't have the same kind of standards across the bar for everybody or anything. It's really weird. And the same kinds of things that people get punished for, the same issues that people get punished for, there would be different kinds of punishments, you know? Yeah, dude, profit for sure. Yeah. Well, they've got a lot of bot stuff that goes on, gamer. So there's a lot of bot. You can look in our channel right now, you'll see all kinds of bots hanging out in here, dude. Oh yeah, fair. That's a constant too, dude. That's a constant too, right? And that's the thing is like, that's why, you know, people are like, I try to be very careful. That's like with this doc stuff we were just talking about, you know, I don't want to necessarily even show him on stream because even if you think you know what the rules are, Twitch will just go, oh, you didn't really know what the rules were. And they'll just punish you and they'll just ban you, you know, and it's like, they basically just do whatever they want to do. And so for me, I want to try to stay away from you know, as much of that line as possible, man, and trying to stay clear of issues. And because it's a weird space, dude. Twitch will punish anybody for basically anything they want and say, oh, well, you broke this rule. You're banned, you know, and most time won't even tell them, you know. Oh yeah, there's ways to see. So they don't show up as viewers, but there's like a bunch of other users that'll be hanging out in here all the time, and they're actual bots that are part of Twitch. So they've got bots that hang out, and if things pop off that seem sketchy, then basically what it does is it tips off actual real life moderators for Twitch to come in and take a look at things and see what's going on, you know, and enact action if need be. Yeah, that's basically what happens. Yeah, yeah, Mithril. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what to say about it, dude. It's really weird, you know. Yeah, the standards are just not held. Nobody's held to the same kinds of standards, and you know, the punishments are always different and stuff. Yeah. So I don't know, dude. It's really weird, but you know, that's one of the reasons that I just try to stay away from. You know, I don't even like to ride that line, dude. I like being here. I like doing this. I like hanging out with you guys. I like playing games. I like doing the news, and you know, I'm not one for trying to see how far I can push that line before Twitch ends up going, hey, you're gonna have to, you know, take some time off. You know what I mean? I don't necessarily want to do that. Whenever I do take time off, you know, I feel bad not being here because of like life stuff or whatever. So I don't necessarily want to have to take time off by Twitch telling me that, oh, you broke a rule, and then not being able to find out what rule it was or anything, you know? Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. It's a good talk there, though, dude. What's funny is that it's so apparent to everybody, you know? It's so, and Wick, you might be right, dude. I mean, if the doc shows up enough in that game, Twitch might just go, hey, you guys can't play that here. You know? Dude, you could absolutely be right. And I don't know why they wouldn't have the doc doing plenty of cameos in that game with him being such a huge personality in the gaming world and being a big part of that development process. You could be absolutely right, dude. And we'll see. We'll see. Well, that's what I was just talking about, Gamer. That's what I was just talking about a second ago. Nobody really knows. And I think it's because I think both Twitch and I think the doc are under non-disclosure agreements. Yeah. There's been a lot of speculation about it, but it's never been revealed. So something went down, obviously, and there was some kind of settlement that happened, from what I understand. Miss Bat, get in here, Miss Bat. What's up, my friend? How are you? So, yeah, that's what we were just talking about just a second ago. It's a weird deal. Nobody really knows, and the doc won't talk about it. Twitch won't talk about it, and I think there's probably some non-disclosure agreement stuff going on that is preventing either side from really going into detail about it, because there's probably some settlement stuff that went down. I think there was a settlement that was reached or something like that, but I can't remember. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big fan of his either. You know, I'm not a big fan either. But at the same time, dude, Twitch, you know, I'm not a fan of the way they handle things quite often either. You know, and so I'm not necessarily as interested in what he has to say as much as I'm interested in, is this a case of, you know, Twitch once again holding people to different standards and just not being a fan of the doc? And there's no, I mean, you can't, yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure the words. I mean, you know, he's a personality for sure. He's a personality with, that a lot of people gravitate towards. It's not my jam. You know what I mean? It's not really my kind of thing, but I respect it. He's built up a large fan base around this personality of his, you know, and so I respect the crap out of it. He's done a good job with it. He's a good game player, you know. It's not my kind of entertainment, but it appeals to a large demographic of people, obviously. Otherwise, he wouldn't be as popular as he is, yeah? So I think that in combination with a pretty high level of gameplay has done very well for him. But I think that's the big thing for me, is being interested in knowing, you know, because I think it was apparent for a while that Twitch wasn't a fan of his. You know, there was a lot of stuff that would go down between Twitch and the doc and stuff like that. And I think that's my big interest, is not necessarily what either side has to say about the other, but what the actual facts are about that situation, you know? Yeah. Oh, okay, Miss Bat. Yeah. Yeah, it's good to see you. Yeah, cool. Awesome. Yeah, sorry you got a busy day today. Yeah. All right, here we go. Let's keep going, guys. Good talk. Critically acclaimed Xbox 360 game now free to download. A critically acclaimed Xbox 360 game is now free to apparently Don Dabialad. Don Dabialad to all Xbox Live Gold users. I'm telling you, bro. Xbox or comicbook.com, it's becoming a game where comicbook.com, they have some great articles. We get a lot of information out of here, so I really appreciate how much info they bring to us all the time. But it's like a game, dude. They always have like at least one misspell in all of their articles, and it's like a game trying to pick it out. That's the name of the new Warframe. Nice, dude. So the Xbox 360 generation is widely considered the greatest generation for Xbox. Not only is it the best-selling Xbox console to date, but it has an impressive library of games, which includes an impressive collection of exclusive games. It was during this generation of gaming that many fan-favorite series got their start. For example, and pertaining to Xbox specifically, Gears of War got its start during this generation. Unfortunately, the new free download is not for any of the classic Gears of War games, but Space Invaders IG, also known as Space Invaders Infinity Gene. When released in 2009, Space Invaders Infinity Gene was initially a mobile exclusive, but upon release, it garnered a 91 on Metacritic, making it one of the highest rated games of the year. Later, it came to Xbox 360 and PS3. This is it. Don't they have spell check? I don't know, dude. That's what I've always wondered too, but it's like on the constant, dog. I mean, every single article, there's something messed up. Every single one. It's become like a game for me, dude. And that's what I've been saying, like, because it was always wild to me. I was like, do they not have like a spell check or an editor or anything that checks these things first? And at this point, it's just like become the norm anymore. You know, it's like, okay, well, this is just, it is what it is, dude. They're just, their articles are always like that. Okay, fair. Yeah, dude. Yeah. No worries, buddy. No worries. Maybe we'll see you later or something, dude. It's good to see you, man. Happy Saturday. You guys be safe, dude. Yeah, be safe. Hope archery goes well, man. Bro, that was intense. Woo! That's a high Metacritic score right there, though. No, this was just no, dude, no, I'm not playing that. No, this is a Space Invaders Infinity Gene. Yeah, so this is a game that came out in 2009. Originally, it was a mobile game only on release, but recently, after got released on Xbox 360 and PS3, garnered a 91 on Metacritic. That was the trailer for it, and you can claim it for free right now on Xbox Live Gold. Yeah. So there you go, if you need more. Yeah, it was intense, wasn't it? Project 007 story details revealed. We now have some of the first story details for Project 007, a brand new Bond game from IO Interactive, the team responsible for the Hitman series. Bond is one of the most iconic characters in all of fiction. His voice, his fashion, his memorable lines, and so on all help him immediately recognizable even to those who have never seen a Bond film. Yeah. We also just saw here recently that IO, being the developers behind the Hitman series, have stated that they are not necessarily done with the Hitman series, but they are very focused on this stuff right now. And therefore, it will be a while before another iteration of the Hitman series comes out, right? But they've stated, like, for the fans of the series, they are not done with Hitman. They just need people to understand that they are focused on some other things right now. So it'll be a bit for some more Hitman stuff, okay? His voice, yeah. Bond is also famous for some of gaming's most beloved shooters, such as the acclaimed GoldenEye for Nintendo 64, which is one of the titles that's up right now for nomination of going into the Video Game Hall of Fame this year. However, despite his massive status, Bond has been AWOL from gaming for over a decade now. Thankfully, he will soon make his return. So, IO has been hard at work on Project 007 for a number of years. We know next to nothing about it. Thankfully, a bit of light was shed in a recent interview with Eurogamer. IO Interactive co-owner Christian Elverdam revealed that the game is an origin story for Bond, but also seemingly an original version of the character. The developer noted they wanted to build a Bond that wasn't just mimicking the films, but designed as a gaming hero. Don't expect the character to be modeled around any of the prior actors like Daniel Craig. Ironically, Daniel Craig's first film, Casino Royale, served as a bit of an origin for the character. We see him check the boxes to become 007 in the first scene of the film, and then the rest of the movie, the rest of the movie highlights what molded him to become the way he is in almost every other Bond film. It remains to be seen how IO will execute its version of the character, but the prospect of it all is very exciting. All right. We'll get more as this moves along in development, I'm sure. But for the Bond fans out there, especially, I'm sure that this is very exciting stuff. New Assassin's Creed, codenamed Red, details leak. New details on one of Ubisoft's upcoming Assassin's Creed games, codenamed Red, the one set in Japan, leaked online this week to potentially reveal more of what the game's protagonists will look like. According to these leaks, players will see both a shinobi and a samurai character, which one would imagine would lend the game to two different playstyles for players to master. Additional details on those characters' backgrounds were revealed too, to coincide with some previous leaks that suggested this game would focus more heavily on stealth and what seems like a more traditional Assassin's Creed experience. Newest details come from Insider Gaming, the same outlet that leaked info about the game previously and said that there'd be two playable characters. Elaborating now on that previous leak, the word now is that the characters will consist of a female samurai shown in the game's original teaser, as well as a shinobi who's said to be a refugee from Africa who adopted the learnings of the Creed of Assassins itself. No confirmation about any of this from Ubi currently. Yep. But that's what we've gotten unofficially so far. Cool. If you want any of the links out of there, anyways, I know we've got some people that are interested in the AC stuff here in the community. So here's another one for you. Assassin's Creed Valhalla is a fake game. We'll see. We'll see what this says. A reader plays the most recent Assassin's Creed and suggests that its adherence to the Ubisoft template means it barely counts as a game. I'd like to think of myself as a pretty good cosmopolitan gamer. I have a few types of games I don't like, but I try to give most things a go if I can. Especially if they review well. It had been a long time since I played an Assassin's Creed game. All the way through. I gave up halfway through Syndicate, and while I've never been a major fan of the series, I did quite enjoy them. And when I realized I could pick up Assassin's Creed Valhalla for next to nothing, I thought I'd give it a try. This is the first of the role-playing style Creed games that I'd played, which I'd heard of before and didn't really like the sound of. Valhalla did seem to be very highly regarded, though, so everything lined up to make it seem like it was worth a punt. It wasn't. I wouldn't say I hated Valhalla. In fact, as the hours rolled by, I became increasingly confused about how exactly I felt about it, as everything seemed to be washing over me without ever making a real impression. I was playing the game, but it almost felt like it was playing me. Nothing I was doing required any skill or thought, and everything was little parcels of action that was repeated in a slightly different order or against a slightly different backdrop again and again. I began to think of that old Wii era insult, the non-game, aimed at things like brain training and Wii Fit that ran on a console but weren't really a game. Valhalla is nothing like that, though. It felt like something different, like a fake game. Something that seems to have all the attributes of a game but wasn't really, at least not in terms of anything I deem important. There's no originality, there's no innovation, there's no real variety, no story or characters that you can even begin to care about, and just the same super simplified stealth and combat again and again. In short, it follows the Ubisoft template ruthlessly well. The strangest thing, though, is that I still didn't hate it. There's something strangely soothing and relaxing about playing a game that seems to have no obvious end goal and where your progress is never impeded for more than a few minutes at a time. You never get stuck in Valhalla. You never run out of things to do, which sounds great. Until you realize that the price for that is that you also never really feel like you've done anything. There's nothing to get good at. The next bit of loot doesn't make anything any more difference than the one before it, and the story floats along without any obvious reason or purpose. In gameplay and storytelling terms, it is empty calories, and I'm almost impressed how it can be that way and do so much while achieving so little. I'm not going to finish it because I think I've had enough of it all now, but has been a strange and enlightening experience. Enlightening because I'm pretty sure this is the way the game is supposed to be. I'm not having an adverse reaction to it. This is what it is intended to be. Something you can veg out with and know that you can succeed in it and never run out of things to do. It's like a mindless soap or reality show. Something you can switch off and enjoy, but because it's a video game, still feel like you've achieved something. However, it's so far from cutting edge, it's impossible to imagine anything less ambitious. I can't imagine what the developers thought while making it, but it doesn't feel like a creative endeavor. It feels like a product made to fulfill a role. As I said, a fake game. Interesting. That's a pretty well stated personal experience, I would say. Not everybody's going to feel that way. Not everybody's going to feel that way. But personally, this individual did a pretty good job at concisely expressing their experience with the game. Yeah. Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy coming to Steam to help spark PC game sales. Final Fantasy Origin Stranger of Paradise random mode time. Go. Get him in there. Get him in there. Coming to Steam with a new lower price tag as Square Enix tries to spark more full game sales on PC. Square Enix, dude. Square is bringing its latest Final Fantasy game to Steam. Yeah. Next month. The Team Ninja developed action RPG had been a 1-year exclusive to the Epic Game Store on PC and will soon jump over to Steam where it can sell many more copies. So Square has lowered the base price of Stranger of Paradise to $40 on all platforms. The current gen PS5, Xbox Series X and S versions of the game also have the same price. News comes at a big turning point for Square. The company is about to get new presidential leadership, and Square Enix's first NFT game, Symbiogenesis, is coming sometime this year. Blah! We've also populated that the firm's new management could make better deals with Xbox. However, Square Enix has told investors that it will continue pursuing and executing its current cross-platform strategies. Here's the other thing. I wonder how the PC port of this is, because Square is terrible at PC ports. They are not good. This means we should see more exclusivity deals with future Square Enix titles across multiple platforms. We've seen this with Strangers of Paradise and its Epic Game Store exclusivity, as well with Final Fantasy XVI's 6-month exclusivity on PS5. While Square is far from being in the red, publisher ideally wants to sell as many copies of its games as possible while continuing to double down on live game services and experimental new video games similar to its Symbiogenesis NFT project. Yeah, look, Square is scary right now, dude. For me, Square is scary. I've talked about this a lot. Square is heavily invested and pursuing the segment of NFT, blockchain, Web3 space in gaming. Funny enough, we saw an article over the past week about their current CEO stepping down. And I was like, oh, well, hopefully this will make them pivot away. Finally go, oh, this was not the play. The CEO, will say, the CEO is stepping down. The new CEO will take over and we'll step away from it. No, they're like, this does not mean that we are moving away from our venture into the NFT Web3 blockchain space. And so they're still diving into it. It seems gross to me. Nobody at this point that I've seen has done it well. It's like a big red flag to me of showing that a developer is primarily focused at greed and has a very, very, very small, if any, focus on quality content anymore. And Square is one of those, oh man, it's one of those developers that I fell in love with way back in the day, like so many others that had just seemed to have lost their way, man. They've been, I think, just polluted with business, business individuals that have no idea what it means to be a good gaming company anymore. They're not gamers. I'm not saying they don't have developers in there that aren't gamers, but it seems like a company that has just been overrun with business people, not gamers. And the business people have taken over and are not giving the gamer minded part of the business anymore. The people that are part of the business that do a lot of the probably the development and things like that are actual gamers still, the light of day to really you know, push forward the what used to make Square so great. Not that they're not still making some good content and stuff. I don't think that's the case, but I think they're on a slippery slope right now as far as diving into this space this heavily, and it was a hot trend for a while, but it was a trend that I was seeing through. I think a lot of other people in the industry were seeing through it too, which is why it died off pretty quickly as well. But for some reason, Square is heavily committed to it. And I think it's just that big part of the business side of their company. All they see are dollar signs, and they still see, for some reason, a lot of potential behind it in generating a lot of revenue on that side of gaming. I don't even like calling the NFT blockchain Web3 stuff. I call it software. I don't even like calling it video games, because they're really not. It's software created on the premise of video games is really what it is. It's kind of disgusting. All right, here's the last thing I have, man. And shout out to our buddy Mithril. We have been talking here recently about Star Citizen. I have not experienced Star Citizen myself, but the things that I know about Star Citizen have come off as pretty gross. But I mean, the fact alone that this title has been in development since like 2011, 2012. So we're talking over a decade. Originally was stated to be a full release by 2014 to 2015, and has had a development budget of over $500 million. And is still in alpha states of the game, is something that seems off. Significantly off. From the outside looking in, which is where I am, this seems very, very off. And well over $500 million of a budget at this point. It just seems weird. It's an odd kind of situation for a game project. Now, again, I've said throughout my kind of criticisms about the game that I don't have personal experience playing the game, anything like that. But luckily enough, we do have somebody in the community that has played the game. Our buddy Mithril actually has spent a good amount of time in the game, and was wanted us to take a look, or provided us with a video here that's going to give us a bit of a look at what the current update is in bringing into the game, so we can at least get a bit of an experience of what the game has to show. But I don't know. I can't help but say that it's very concerning, in my opinion, for a game to be in development for this long. And I know the reach is massive, right? For this kind of title, the reach is massive. They're creating a absolutely enormous, universe for people to play in, and that is not an easy thing. But I think that it almost seems like the problem is that in this kind of endeavor, I think it's probably very easy to get sidetracked. And it seems like that might be what's happening, because the game is still in alpha. The game is still in alpha. There's playable modules. So it's like they've got all these different sections of the game that are like being built up, but you can go play these different sections of the game. And it almost seems like they keep coming up with these ideas of how to make the universe, once it all comes together, to be bigger and more grandiose and a more immersive experience, but they can't finish things before they move on to other things, and so, I mean, I think the big concern is like, will they get it there? And with that amount of budget, that is a massive, massive, massive amount of money to develop a game, and for over a decade later to still be in an alpha phase is, man, it's a wild thing. It's something that we really haven't seen in the industry, for that amount of money to be put into a game. And I mean, we've seen some very, very long development processes, and we've seen games that have been indefinite, like kind of on hold indefinitely for development, and they're almost a joke. Some Duke Nukem stuff, or what was the what's the other one, man? I can't think of the name of it right now. Oh geez, but those games aren't even really in a playable kind of situation, whereas this one is, and they didn't have near as much money behind them either. So let's see what we got going on here. Mitchell, thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. They're also having some pretty significant issues with this latest update, right? Thanks, buddy. Yeah, cool. Thanks. Yeah, because that's one of the things that brought this back into the forefront of the news for us was, we had seen they pushed out this new, that dude got wrecked. Did you see that? Bro, that big rover or that big, that big, flipping, I don't know, what would you call it? What, a transport or whatever, dude. Just destroyed that person. Came out in the news that this big alpha update had come out, but it was like, it wrecked the game. Servers were all jacked up. People were having a hard time getting in and playing the game. It was a big mess. And that's what brought this back up for everybody, for us in the community and the news. That looks like an X-Wing, dog. That's a flippin' X-Wing, dude. Okay. So, thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. The game looks cool. I've always thought the game looked cool. And I've always thought the premise behind the game seemed very intriguing. Yeah. Again, I mean, for me, it's almost the same thing. I talk about this a lot too. Steam's got a great platform, and they help a lot of developers get their products into the hands of people to test things out in the early access feature, right? Early access can be a great thing. It's been a great thing for certain games. Like you talk about, early access was an amazing thing for. The first thing that pops into my mind quite often is a game like Path of Exile, with grinding gear games, and there have been great examples of early access being fantastic for certain titles. And it allows a game, while not being in a finished state yet, to continue to work and get that product into a fully playable state. But one of my biggest criticisms about early access is you get a game like 7 Days to Die, right? It's been in early access for 9 years now, and that's not acceptable in my opinion. There's no reason why a game should be in early access for that long. There needs to be an acceptable amount of time. You know, if you're going to push a game out and go, yo, this is early access, this game, should be in a fully playable base state within the next, 3 years or something. You know what I'm saying? There needs to be specific goals that you have to focus on and obtain to give people a fully playable game to get into and immerse themselves in. And then as you move forward, you're pushing out additional content, right? You're expanding that world. You're pushing out additional content and everything. And I don't think that Star Citizen's the only game that and not that they're on Steam, not that they're in early access, but it seems like a similar kind of situation to me, right? Where they've had this grandiose idea from the get-go, and it keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And instead of focusing on what the game was supposed to be in the first place, getting that finished, and then branching off and making it bigger, right? It's that kind of situation where it's just been early access for flippin' ever, and you can't play the game in a fully fleshed out state as like what the base game was supposed to be initially, because they can't focus down and get it completed and then work on pushing out more content, right? That's the way it comes off to me. And I'm not a fan of that, dude. I'm just not. It seems it's a lack of focus for the project is what it seems. And I'm not saying that's easy, because especially from what Mithril's telling me, we're talking over 1,000 developers on Star Citizen. And again, the project scope is expansive. I mean, it's massive. And so I'm not saying it's an easy thing, but that's where, a very good project development process is critical. And I don't care if you're talking about video games or any other project in the world in business. It is project development is a great skill for people to get good at, and for businesses to incorporate at a very, very high level, because it eliminates this kind of thing from happening. It doesn't mean that there won't be, deviations from the original plan and stuff, but that's what good project development does. It allows you to remain agile in getting the main goal accomplished. And then after that main goal is accomplished in the gaming world, which would be like getting the base game done for the gamers, right? Then it allows you to continue to make maybe that base project better, right? Get it finished, then make it better. In the gaming world, that would mean base game, then more content. Instead of what happens quite often and what we've seen, apparently the way it comes off to me with Star Citizen, what we see so often again with Steam and like early access is, it seems like they go, oh, well, we're working on what we originally planned. This would be cool too. This would be cool too. This would also be cool. This would be neat to implement as well. Let's go ahead and do this also. And then it turns into this hot mess, dude, of like branches, right? Of trying to get more and more and more and more and more, instead of going, let's put a pin in that, putting all these cool ideas for things for us to potentially do in the future, right? We got to get this base thing out to people in a fully playable state. And then this is expansion, DLC expansion stuff, you know what I mean? Or additional content. And I think that there are a lot of games that get themselves into a bad situation in that kind of deal. So Star Citizen, again, I mean, it's always seemed like the premise behind it and the potential behind it was very intriguing to me. But it's a scary situation because of what I see from the outside looking in, in what I just talked about. So I don't know. Mithril, I'm glad to have you around, dude, and I would love to hear more and more as you continue to play through the game, and let me know how the development's rolling out, because apparently you've got some connections there, and some good insight, and that's what I look for. Because I mean, obviously, not all of us have, it's impossible for everybody to have enough time to play all video games, right? Perfect world, dude. That would be great, but it's just not the case. And so quite often, man, I like to rely on some of the people that we have in the community to elaborate a bit on some of the experiences that I just don't necessarily have the time to dive into. You know what I mean? All the games. Yeah. So, this being one that obviously is a hot topic for many reasons, especially here in the news segment for what we do in the community. And I'm not trying to bag on things for no reason. I hope people understand that. I'm not trying to bag on things for no reason, down things for no reason. But, a big part of why I do the news segment is because the video gaming industry is very important to me. It's interesting to me. And a lot of what I try to do is promote what feels to me as a way to move forward for the health of the industry in regards to all of us, from developers all the way down to consumers, and all I can do is elaborate on what things appear to me. And I'm not always going to be right, but I think that's where it's important for us, and I appreciate everybody that's a part of what we do here all the time, especially in the news segment stuff, for what we do in the news, because we have these conversations and I might not always be seeing things from all points of view, and you guys often point out things that I might be missing a little bit, so I appreciate having everybody be a part of what we do, and providing insight into my own potential thought processes behind some of the stuff we come across and things like that. So again, I know that quite often I can come off as a big critic about certain things, but that's not what I'm necessarily trying to do, as much as raise awareness about what's going on in the industry, and trying to get us moving in more of a positive direction for the health of everything as a whole, right? But I appreciate it, buddy. That was a good look. Thanks, man. Yeah. Yeah. If it's not funded for years to come, dude, off of that budget, bro, something's wrong. Something's wrong. Yeah, no doubt. That's the news, guys. That's the news. We're going to go play some Warframe for a little bit, and we'll see. Pinky will get here a little bit later, and then we'll probably do some more Divinity. So we'll just have a little bit of a chill day. It is Saturday, so I won't go late into the afternoon today. Gonna do a little bit of some family stuff, but we'll get some gaming in today for sure. Yeah. Mountain time, coffee time, dude. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I appreciate it, Mithril. Thanks very much, buddy. Good video, dude. Let's get some jams on here. Yeah. We listened to Crypt of the Necrodancer today. Yeah. Who's that sound like? Who's that sound like, dude? Cool. So, appreciate you guys. We're going to move on to the gaming content, but if anybody's checking this content out, this March 18th edition of Video Gaming News, after it's been live here, and you're enjoying the content as either highlights on the Twitch channel or VODs on the YouTube channel, or any of our other content of playthrough episodes or entire playthroughs of games we've done, or funny clips, whatever, and you're enjoying it, then I would prompt you to come hang out with us when we go live at 6 o'clock a.m. CST every single day, and we start all of our streams off with video gaming news, and then we dive into whatever gaming content we have planned for the rest of the day, which is quite often a variety of lengthy different genres of gameplays and community games that we have fun together. So come check us out, come have fun with us, and other than that, stay healthy, stay safe, be kind. We will check everybody tomorrow for March 19th edition of Video Gaming News, and probably more Warframe and Divinity. Cool.